This new creature is coming to Ragnarok next year, and here is everything you need to know about it, and a secret not many players would expect from this creature. Let's go. Okay, a quick explanation of this creature is it functions just like a Maywing, as it takes young creatures and raises them with their unique abilities. This new dinosaur is a large theropod just like the Therizinosaur or the Carnotaurus, and once they're tamed they have an ability which allows you to call younger wild creatures, so that way you can raise them as your own and maybe even get a special ability along with that. So we'll have a look at the dossier of the Gigantoraptor. Okay, so here are the wild and domesticated or tamed kind of explanations to the Gigantoraptor creature. So I'll just read them out. If you don't want to listen to this, just skip a little bit ahead and I'll get into my thoughts on it. But yeah, here we go. Unless you're planning to raid its nest, you shouldn't let this creature's imposing size worry you. Gigantoraptor may be fiercely protective of its brood, but it's much more of a caregiver than a fighter. Don't get me wrong, this theropod will use its sharp claws and surprising speed to defend its young when threatened, but Gigantoraptor has a soft heart for young ones. It'll even take orphan babies of rival species. So again, the wild creatures in Ark Survival Ascended, not Evolved, because they're making wild creatures, like wild young creatures of every single dinosaur in the game right now, and all of the new ones coming. So that's going to be a new feature in the game, and I guess the Gigantoraptor will have some effect on that. Okay, and for the domesticated or tamed Gigantoraptor. Now for the bad news. To my knowledge, no one's been able to figure out how to tame an adult Gigantoraptor. Its unique disposition seems resistant to behavioral conditioning. However, survivors bolder than me were able to sneak into nests and win the trust of their young, and they claim the reward is well worth the risk. So I'm guessing that it's kind of like the wyverns, and you go and you tame their young first. You can't tame the adult versions of them, and you raise up the young, and that's how you tame one of your own. Once matured to adulthood, your tamed Gigantoraptor will happily look after any of your tribe's young creatures, nurturing them and teaching them how to fight. It can even use its call to help you find orphan babies out in the wild. If you bring those orphans home, then your Gigantoraptor will be happy to add them to its brood. So again, building on the mechanic of calling for wild creatures and raising them as your own, potentially they will get some sort of stat bonus or buff like you see with the pack animals. So again, it's a raptor as well. Even though it's a theropod, it's a raptor, so it might have some sort of pack bonus if they're together, or the creatures that are in its brood will have some sort of pack bonus based around the Gigantoraptor, or when they're with creatures within the pack, or just with Gigantoraptor. I don't know, because obviously this creature isn't out, but I think there's some of the changes that could make this a pretty unique creature to have in Ark Survival Ascended. Gigantoraptor forms an inseparable bond with its young charges. Bring them into a fight together and they will defend each other and your tribe far more effectively than when apart. That kind of foreshadows maybe what I'm trying to say, is that there is like a kind of bond between the Gigantoraptor and the brood or the wild creatures that you'd tame using the Gigantoraptor, because it would build some sort of buff to help you when you're fighting together as a group, just like I said with the pack kind of buff mechanic that they have with the raptors and the hyenodons and all of the other creatures that carry that mechanic. Okay, and just a summary of some of the points I made there. So I talked about kind of a pack bonus that you receive in Ark Survival Evolved, so the first kind of game with the raptors, hyenodons, and anything that hunts in a pack. You'll notice that it gets a boost and a buff in stats. So what I'm thinking is that this is foreshadowing kind of a pack bonus or buff with the Gigantoraptor's creatures that it has raised. So everything that's put in its brood, over time that will get, like as you raise it, it will get a pack kind of bonus. And when you attack together as a group with those creatures, they will receive a buff. So that then benefits players that raise wild creatures, which is a bit more work. It gives you a bit of reward by actually buffing those creatures, so you can use it in PvP, boss fighting, whatever you need to use them for. And that's also a way of helping the Gigantoraptor adapt and fit into the new Ragnarok kind of ASA map. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this new creature and how it will affect the Ark map, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.